Okay, so you can also see I'm going to move on to another recording, so I can just get this video done. I can't just sit here right now, but I'm going to play this recording. You can see in here she states how she went to the abused women's shelter, claiming abuse on me. What she didn't know was there was already a woman who was associated with that abused women's shelter who had already met with me and the kids 3 times before she ran off and went in there. She came to the house here and met with me and the kids while my wife was supposedly at the doctor's office, and she actually wasn't. When you hear her talk about how she has a doctor's appointment and she was going, and I believe that's one of, actually, it's in this recording here. I went and met with the doctor. She left and told me she was going to that doctor's appointment. She never went. It's documented in her medical file. She did not go to that appointment. Again, she claims she needs help. She claims she's seeking help, but she does not follow through. So it's documented in that doctor's office that she never went to that appointment, but yet told me she was, and I don't know where she went for the evening. So this is the morning before she went to the abused women's shelter, claiming I was the one abusing her. And part of the reason the women's abuse shelter would not pursue against me was because they already knew what was going on. But as a victim shelter, they cannot turn down a victim. So they had to take her in. It's part of why she claims victim to all this. And she claims that she was raped. I can prove she wasn't. I can actually prove it. She wasn't raped, but she claims victim. And everybody, oh, you're a raped woman, then we'll take you in. That's why she turns to churches, because they will always take her in. All she's got to do is go out and claim false allegations of abuse and rape and all this other stuff, and they will take her in. She's already told me it. It's been one of my problems with going to church is not only now, right now, I can't go to church and see children, and even the kids there asking me where my kids are, and I walk out of there crying. God, standing in stores, and I even see a family and children, and I just start crying in the middle of stores. I've left carts in the middle of aisles and just walked out of stores because I couldn't continue shopping. I've walked into the Family Dollar store here in town. I've bought my kids half the toys on the shelf there, and I walk in the front door, and it's the first thing you see, and I start crying. I've turned around, walked straight back out the door, and never made it 2 steps in. People walking up to me, why are you crying? Because I miss my kids. And it's painful. So the morning before she went, this is the day before she went to the abused women's shelter, claiming I was the one abusing her and the kids again. Again, you hear it. We go through it every year. You've already heard me say it. We go through this every year. It's part of the mental disorder, and I can prove she's done this to every husband and man prior. And it's not right. These people do not need to keep getting hurt. She does not need to keep ruining people's lives, and especially children's. So the morning before she went to the abused women's shelter, I got woke up being hit, threatened. The night before, the day before, I recorded the full 2 weeks leading up to this. The day before, because not one time did she ever sleep in bed with me. She claims I'm the one who is not touching her and all this other stuff. You'll hear that in more recordings. Just absolute nonsense. The things she says in front of our children is wrong. You're going to continue hearing that. No children, especially 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, no child should be subjected to this language and content. The day before, I had just got the kids' bedroom done and got their beds put up, and she spent the whole day laying in bed crying and being depressed over what? I don't even know. She don't even know. I sat down and talked to her. Again, it's recorded. I'm not going to air all of it. I can only make, this video is going to be so long to begin with. But she doesn't know what her problem was and what was wrong with her. And you listen, I went out and made dinner, fed the kids, came in, told her dinner was ready, tried to bring her food. No, I don't want to eat. I went back out to the kids, and it's part of her problem. Especially you have a newborn baby, 1, 2, 3, 4, again, they come first. But you're going to hear her tell me, those kids don't come first, she does. That's wrong for any parent. A child always comes first to a parent. And I did that, and it was held against me by her because I was not taking care of her. I was taking care of the kids. You're going to hear that, and it's even in this order, I think, this one. You're going to hear more. So the night before, I took the kids. My daughter's favorite movie at the time was Dora the Explorer, and took them in the camper, and the 3 of us fell asleep on the couch, cuddled up together, watching Dora. Angie comes in about 12:30ish at night, and I was still recording. My phone was sitting there recording again. I've been warned, what this woman's capable of and what could possibly happen and the dangers that I'm in trying to protect her protect her just to turn around and get falsely abused again myself by the system that was supposed to protect me and our children. So she comes into the house, or to the camper, because she was sleeping in the house, and a skunk got underneath the house, sprayed. It was horrendous. Horrendous. I told her, lay down, go to sleep with the kids, and I'll go take care of the skunk. Again, I'm a horrible person who does nothing. I don't take care of her. I don't take care of nothing around here. I spent weeks and weeks and weeks leading up to these recordings, getting all of our stuff moved here, laying on the ground in pain because of my physical problems, and still fighting it and getting back on my feet and getting this all accomplished. I did it, almost all of it by myself. Got our animal shelters built, got our house remodeled, sitting up every single night, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, because I spend all day with the kids and taking care of her and everything else. And then at night, after everybody goes to bed, I get to come in the house and try to get our house done so we could get moved into it. The dog chased the skunk out into the woods and didn't come back till 4:30 in the morning. I went out looking for her and I couldn't find her. I couldn't hear her. I had no idea where she went. So I just said the best thing I could do is go back up to the house and wait for her to come back. I don't know what else to do. Well, the dog came back about 4:30. All of our stuff was still in boxes and packaged up because I had to get the house remodeled so we could get our stuff into it. I worked really, really hard, getting hit and threatened and punched. I mean, the day with you heard about the AT&T when she went and got our phones turned on. We had already discussed it. We discussed it in the driveway while she was sitting in her van getting ready to leave. All we needed were SIM cards. We just needed SIM cards, and if we activated it online, then we saved $600. There was a $600 discount if you activated it all online. So I explained all that to her and said, just go get the SIM cards, bring them home, and then we'll activate them. Well, we don't have any service. We can't activate them. All we got to do is go right down to the library and connect to their Wi-Fi, and we can access everything we need to do to get these going and save $600. Again, you hear she doesn't remember any of this stuff. By the time she drove here to the AT&T store, she'd already forgotten. I get a text alert, your phone has been shut off. I'm going, oh great, why is my phone shut off? When she comes home, here, I got all the stuff and took care of it all. Well, did you activate it in the store? Oh yeah, I just had them do it. Well, that just cost us $600. We can't afford it. I told her it's okay. I mean, again, I've got it all recorded. I told her it's okay. I will call and see if I can get this taken care of and see if I can figure out how to get this straightened out. I was standing at the southwest corner of our chicken coop, our chicken run, putting up the fencing to get our chicken run put up, when she charges me, hits me, starts threatening me. Again, you hear us just talking about it. All because she screwed up. And I didn't tell her she screwed up. I just told her it was okay. I'll take care of it. Again, I try to take care of this woman the best I can. Even as frustrating as it is and what all I have to go through and even being hit and threatened. And my daughter was only, I don't know, she was still in a high chair. And it was medically documented that the left side of my spine was worse than my right. But I was sitting there feeding, she came in and saw I was feeding my son Lucky Charms. I don't think I finished telling the story. I was feeding my daughter in her high chair, and she comes in and just starts screaming at me for giving my son sugared cereal. Now you're going to hear in the next video with the divorce, 98% of the time I'm on the phone with these kids now. I mean, 10:30 in the morning, you give each kid 3 suckers so they can sit still and talk to their dad. She's the one who has the sugar rush. 98% of our conversations, they're eating ice cream, they're eating candy. She's sugaring them up so they won't sit still and talk to me. So I'm sitting there feeding my daughter. I walked out in the kitchen and asked her to please stop yelling at me in front of the kids. The kids are not going to respect me if you keep doing this in front of them, and they're not. I went back in the dining room and sat down and started feeding our daughter, and she charged me and rammed me out of my chair, and I fell backwards into the table. Now it's medically documented that my right side of my spine is worse than my left. And I even went to my doctor and said, now my right side is hurting worse than my left does. What's going on? Well, she damaged my spine. But again, I'm the abusive, crazy monster. So that night, when the skunk came in and skunked the house and I took care of all of our stuff was still boxed up and sitting outside boxed up. That's why you hear her crying about, oh, our stuff's sitting all over the yard. Well, we had to get the house done so we could get our stuff into the house, and I couldn't get the house remodeled with all the stuff in here. I mean, come on, this is, again, it's part of where you hear me just go silent. Like, how do you argue with that? How do you argue with somebody who can't make common sense out of anything? We just got here, got our stuff unloaded. I'm remodeling the house to get our stuff inside. It all takes time. But no, I'm a horrible person. So at 4:30 in the morning when the dog came back and I couldn't find anything to clean her up with, the only running water we have, and you'll even hear it in this recording, we had no running water in the house. The only running water we had was in the camper. My family's in there sleeping. I'm not going to go in there and wake my family up to give a dog a bath. At 4:30 now, it's almost 5. I've been up until 2, 3 o'clock every single morning now, working myself to the just so hard and get this to my family. I didn't know what to do, so I took and tied the dog up to the front porch. I came in this house that was so horrendously skunked by a skunk multiple times that I had a can of Glade in each hand and walked through here and just held the triggers down and walked through the entire house back and forth till both cans were completely empty and you couldn't even tell I did it. But I'm such a horrible person, I thought to protect my dog and to keep waking everybody up in the middle of the night, or, I mean, it's almost morning now. I put the dog on the porch, tied her up so she couldn't take off and didn't have any problems there. And I came inside and slept right inside the door, put a blanket over my head because my eyes were burning and tried to protect myself from the skunk smell and get a couple hours sleep before I have to get up and start all over again. Now in this recording, you're going to hear how she woke me up that morning. The very next day she went and she's even hitting me, threatening me. I mean, you're going to hear it all right here. The very next day she went and claimed that to the abused women's shelter that I was the one abusing her and the kids. Now, I recorded that entire day. She was supposed to go to a doctor's appointment. That's in this recording that she never went to. It's documented in the doctor's office. She never made the appointment. I didn't fight her back. I mean, I tried defending myself, and I even, again, listen, I think that everybody should record themselves fighting. Because even in this recording, I heard something I said that was wrong. I told her, go take it out on somebody else. The only people here for her to take it out on are our kids. And after I woke up from just a few hours of sleep and everything that had been going on, I said something I shouldn't have. And I never said it again because the only people here was our children for her to go take it out on, and she does. And that was wrong of me. I think more people should record their arguments and see what they say and do and how they act and react. I think a lot of people could learn from it, and I learned about myself from it as well. But not only did I not fight her back, I got out of bed, and I'm not going to play all of it. You don't want to hear me sitting on the toilet. I get up in the morning out of bed, sit on the toilet, take a shower. I go outside to our son and say, come on, buddy, mommy's sad. We need to go pick her flowers. And then after that, I gave the dog a bath, got her cleaned up, and took her for a walk and went out in the road and picked. I mean, here, there are so many beautiful wildflowers growing everywhere. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever lived. I went and picked her flowers again. How many men wake up being hit and threatened and going through years of abuse? Wake up, get hit and threatened, and not fight back, and instead go pick their wife flowers. How many men would do that? But I'm the evil, horrible, terrible monster. And a court even agrees. Because they don't care about evidence. They don't care about right and wrong. They don't care about children. I want to know what they do care about. Because that's why they took the oath under their job, was to protect victims. And especially in a family court system to protect children. And instead they do the complete opposite. So here's the morning date. This is again, it's time and date stamped. The day before she went to the abused women's shelter claiming I was the one abusing her and the kids. And the woman who was affiliated that I knew and had been talking to, she trusted me so much. Our local sheriff's department had already been out here enough times since we had lived here. And they trusted me enough that they all told me where she was at. I knew she was in there. Now, legally, they're not allowed to do that, but they did because they knew I was not going to start a problem. They've got to know me quite well. So I want to know why I was wronged. Why my children are allowed to be abused. Why I lost my rights as a constitutional American citizen and a father when I could prove my case. So here's the morning before she went to the abused women's shelter claiming I was the one abusing her.
No, not acceptable. you get your ass out of bed, and you take care of the fucking dog, so she can come in the house and not be out there freezing her ass off. And then you take care of this fucking mess in the kitchen so I can have a kitchen in here to take care of our children. And if you don't, you're gonna leave. That's what's gonna happen.
What do you need to take care of the kitchen?
Hook up the fucking water. Fix the sink.
Stop it! I would have hooked up the water had you not moved the couches in there. That's why I said, let me handle the house, because that was what I was in the middle of.
Get your ass in here and do it then.
Stop cussing at me.
No, I'm not. I'm done being nice. I'm done having you sit here and put all of your bullshit on me and twist things around. Not happening.
What am I putting on you?
Get up and take care of the dog. Give her a bath so she can come inside.
She still can't come inside.
Take care of our animals. She's a part of our family.
I understand
that. If it
that.
happened to the kids, would you have left the kids all night long?
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay, she is part of our family. That was wrong. You should have taken care of her last night, and you damn well know it. Get up and take care of her. She can't give herself a bath. She can't do anything about it. She relies on you to do it. So do it. Just like everybody else in this family relies on you to do things, and then you don't do it and you want to twist it around because you feel bad because you're fucking up and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So get up and feel good about yourself that you're going to take care of our animal. And then make this fucking house livable so that I can take care of our family. Or you're not staying.
So she's going to come back in a minute and start hitting me and yelling at me more. While this is playing and we got kind of the silent part here, I'm going to put some more evidence on the screen. Like, she claims that I put the kids in front of a television and I don't ever do anything. Oh my God. Here's the trampoline that's still sitting in my yard that they have. Here's a puppy that I took my kids to go, let's go get a puppy, and took them to go, and I've taken them there many times. What do we have here? I can't see all these. Oh, there's a goat. I took my son to the monster truck rally. Afterwards, I took him to a beautiful place where you can go out on a boat and trolley over a great big deep natural spring that's down in the water. And I mean, you can see like, what, 30 feet down or something that this is? And you can see the bottom and watch fish swimming all over. So I took him to go see that. I took him to see Babe and Paul Bunyan. Took him to a lookout where it's absolutely beautiful. You can see the lake in the background and it's just beautiful. I take them fishing all the time. I love the look on my son's face right there. I've taken them to every zoo I can possibly find to take them to. I even get them behind the scenes views because I am so good with people, and I've got them so many times behind the scenes getting to do things that nobody else normally gets to do. Like the Toledo Zoo, I happened to be there the day they were going to release butterflies. Well, guess who got to release butterflies for the zoo? My children did, because I went and approached the people, started talking to them, made them laugh. And they said, here, would your kids like to do this? My kids have gotten so many experiences because I'm like that, and I do that, and I step up and talk to people. So you got to feed birds peanut butter off of sticks. Feeding deer. I've even made it a mission of mine to find every playground I can possibly ever find for these kids to play on. And you follow my GPS on my Google location and see how many playgrounds I've taken these kids to. But all I do is put them in front of a TV. I can prove she's the one who does that. I got this go-kart for my son. That's what it looked like when I got it. Notice it's missing a seat and just has a piece of plywood laying there. I built it for him into this. He loves this thing. I've heard about it for a year and a half. Dad, when do I get to come ride my go-kart? Dad, do you still have my go-kart? Dad, I want to ride. Now I got one for his dog, for his sister too. See the boat in the background over on the left? That's a boat when I was cleaning up a farm. That's how I made money. I was scrapping out and cleaning up an old farm not far from here, and the woman, her husband passed away. She's an elderly woman, and she's a retired nurse. I found stuff that I could bring home in that boat right there. My kids and I are going to turn into a pirate ship, and I spent even searching that farm, finding all the stuff to make a lookout tower and turn that into a pirate ship. And then I wanted to build a platform in the trees that led out to a treehouse for them. And this was something that's going to take time, and I want to build with them, and it was going to do over time. That's why that boat's sitting out there in their play area. But all I do is put my kids in front of a television. I took them camping, and we stayed here almost the entire summer. They loved it. Loved it. Their mom only came for one day. The entire summer, one day their mom showed up. But you know what's funny? In the divorce, she demanded she got the tent because she refused to camp and doesn't camp. But again, you know, a woman who's so scared of her husband just tries to keep continuing to hurt him. My neighbors camped next to me on this campsite for almost the whole entire summer too. That's part of what people do here. Oh, there's our tent and everything, our campsite getting set up. I got this boat. It's an old Sun Dolphin boat, and it had cracks, and it's a giant piece of styrofoam wrapped in...
I mean it. Get the fuck out of bed. Did you give that mama pig any water last night? She doesn't have any water. Did you give her water? The answer's no, isn't it?
Yes, I gave her water. Why do you think the bucket's sitting outside the fence?
Get up.
No.
I have doctor's appointments at 12:30. I'm leaving. So you need to get your ass up and get some shit done before I have to go. Including, first thing, taking care of your dog. So get up. This isn't an option. This isn't Jason can just do whatever he wants. Get up and take care of the people and the animals that you have to take care of. If you don't, then they're getting rid of them all. And it's bullshit. You fucking wanted those pigs. You said, let's get them. Then we have a food source. That was all you. So if you don't want them, I'm going to list them today, and we will sell them all. You're the one who wants a whole fucking flock food source out there, but you're not willing to do the work. Of the day-to-day, you'll build a house and then walk away.
Does that make
sense? Is that how it is
sense?
for your family too? Here, let me build a house and then I'll walk away.
Sorry about that. Alert came through my phone while I was recording. So there's going to be another break here before she comes back in and starts hitting me. I think the next round is when she starts hitting me. Took my kids, you know, I took this Sun Dolphins.
Living in a garbage dump.
Yep.
John's living in a garbage dump. I'm done with you blaming me about this, that, or the other thing. Things that I don't have any fucking control over. You want to go live in another Leybourne squalor hovel, go find one. This is not going to be it. We're right back where we were a year ago. You telling me bullshit. I'm going to get a job and help you. I'm going to get on disability. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. Well, where is it? Now over here in your dreamland and you're still acting like a fool. Not taking care of your responsibilities, not talking to your own son, not being honest. You're not being honest. At least I'm honest when I tell you that I've right now got hormonal problems, but part of the problem is that my husband is not being a partner in this marriage.
How is that? I mean, spending until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning every single night getting this house done? Having everybody around me go, wow, I can't believe how much you've gotten done. Wow, it looks so great. You flip like a switch. 1 second it's you're awesome. Next minute, you're the worst person in the world. Getting hit, pushed, shoved.
Then go, Jason. Why are you even still married to me?
Because I know there's something wrong with you.
There's nothing wrong with me. And quit saying that because that's
Stop
a mean
it.
thing to say. That's a cruel thing to say. That hurts, and you know it. And I'm tired of you trying to tell me that because there's nothing wrong with me, Jason Westfall.
You just
I am
said you
woman.
have a hormonal problem. That is a problem.
That doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. You say that to somebody, and it's a fuckhead with the psychology. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with
Really?
you.
You haven't told me that every
You
day?
have heard that repeatedly in your life, haven't you? There is something wrong with you, right? You don't like to hear that.
I've heard it
I
by
said
you on
you
a
need to get
daily
help.
basis.
You need to get help. You
Help
don't
with-
manage your life well. You don't know how to handle bills. You don't know how to handle money. You don't know how to handle relationships. You abandon your son and don't even tell him that you're leaving. Let's talk about who's really taking care of adult
Did
responsibilities
you tell you
here.
kids, your kids you were leaving?
Yes, I went and told him in person. You fought me tooth and nail and gave me a bunch of shit for doing it.
Somebody else had already told them.
They didn't know I was leaving. They knew the house was for sale.
No, they knew the house was sold.
Again,
You waited until all the way
You're
after
just
that.
changing the subject again because you refuse
Well, you
to own your own problems and lack of accountability.
actually, I've tried calling
Own
Alex.
your
I've
own
tried talking.
lack of accountability.
Will you let me talk?
No, because it's excuses. Everything that comes out of your mouth is an excuse.
It's an
or a quip
excuse that
to
at least-
deflect back to me, so you don't have to.
Well,
own
I can
anything.
show you the text.
Why is your dog laying outside when she got skunked last night and you didn't take care of her?
Did you do anything to help any of the situation?
It's
No,
your dog.
you ran and got me and went and hid in the camper and said, you go deal with it.
Because you're the man. That's what you want, right?
I did. I
You
chased
always
it off
tell
and got
me.
it out of here.
I mean, what the hell? We're in the Northwoods. Aren't you supposed to be taking care of the animal control problems? That's not my job. That's what you tell me.
I did.
So why are you going to give me shit when I did what you tell me?
Did you help clean her up? Did you help do any of that?
She's
Anything?
your dog. Is she not?
You just said she was our dog. She was part of our family. But then when it comes to why did you help, it's your dog now all of a sudden.
Fine. We'll get rid of her.
We're not getting rid of her.
this. Then get up and take care of her. Quit being a fucking asshole and irresponsible. You're irresponsible, and you know it. You know it.
Will you go take your anger out on somebody else? Because I'm tired of hearing it.
Get up and take care of your responsibilities this morning. That's what pisses me off. You lay in the bed and don't want to get up and interact and be responsible and start the day and take care of shit.
Well, there's two reasons for
Did you
that.
call the disabilities yesterday? No.
Who am I supposed to call? I'm sitting here taking care of
Oh,
kids.
no,
And
I don't know. Let me make some more excuses about how I can't do anything in my fucking life. I'm done with it, Jason. I'm telling you, you better take care of some shit today or you're gone. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
Really, I'm taking care of how much stuff here?
I hate this fucking house.
Then why did you say let's move here?
I never even saw it. You assured me it's all good. You fucking lied about that too.
No, I did not. And that's not at all what happened.
So you heard her hitting me, threatening me, yelling at me. But yet the very next morning, she runs off and goes to the abused women's shelter claiming I'm the one abusing her.